had to pull this drink up. It'd be hard, bro. Try pod all the time. It'd be a little delayed too. Like my joint don't be live. I don't want it to be live. It'd be acting like it don't love me. Do all this work. Can't disrespect me. Are you streaming right now, Nasty? I don't see your stream up.
No, no, sir.
Oh, so you don't believe in streaming no more? You want to wishy-washy.
Not as much. I was shit working a whole lot lately, so I just get on and play casually without streaming.
Now you gonna blame your you gonna
Oh shit! I need to go put one in.
You gonna blame the stream? That's crazy.
It's work. Just been not streaming lately. Working, man. Just getting off early about 10 o'clock and going to my bed.
All right, let me get this intro going. What up, what up, what up? This is Blue51. Welcome to the second part of the podcast. I'm actually in chat with my homies I game with normally. You cannot see them, but you will hear them. I got them muted at the moment. I wanted to have a part two because they missed the pod. I accidentally live streamed it from the barbershop today and I made it private. So you have to go to my page and actually see the last live. I'm going to add it to the barbershop talk show conversations. But what we're going to do is I'm going to have a conversation with them now. There's a couple of pieces of content that I might show out. I might actually put some things up on screen. So let me get my Instagram up right quick. Hold on a second. 1 second. The guy's going. Wait, hold on. You got to say it again, Brody. I missed it. You got to give it to me. I'm not paying attention.
I said this chick said she went out on a date with this dude and he paid for the first 2 dates. Then the girl paid for the third date.
Okay.
Then after that, the guy's like, you know what? You know, hey man, you're a nice person, but you know, I just feel like this isn't really gonna work out. But we already scheduled for a fourth date, so I'll go do that, right? And so I want to say, or did they split? They may have split. Either the girl paid for the third one, or they split on the third one. But so since they weren't gonna, since he was like, yo, I don't think this is going anywhere, she sent him a receipt for the date that she paid for and said dude needed to pay her back for the money she spent on the date.
Nah, that's not
I was
true.
like, yo, you wild.
You sent me that?
No, I ain't sent it to you.
Okay,
I'll find it though.
That's absolutely madness. Hey, I'm about to I'm doing orders for the t-shirts for the cover arts of the song of my music, and nice. I'm using. I just want you to know that I'm going to be using some of there's like a bunch of the that you did, the cover arts that you did for me.
I ain't worried about it. Yeah, man.
I'm letting you know I'm going to put them up on. I'm just saying if you like them because I love the home one, the one you did for home. It's one of my favorite ones. Literally one of my favorite cover arts. Home and I don't know. You did like 3 of them. All the ones you did were dope. Cause I kept using girls' faces and you kept doing the edits with girl faces. Fantastic. But Nasty, you were telling me what you would prefer. So you were ride or die or meet you at the finish line. What's your preference for your joint?
My preference is ride or die.
Why ride or die?
Because I feel like, you know,
they got a vested interest in
a woman
success.
and a man. He said Nasty. He didn't say Winfrey.
Ooh, wait a minute. Ooh, damn. Your name ain't, bruh. I said Mr. Nasty.
Turn on this podcast. Let me have my moment.
Excuse me.
Damn, Fly gonna play.
Because I feel like a woman would appreciate it more once, you know, we get to that finish line together because they would have went through the struggles together. And I know, like me and my wife, you know what I'm saying, we've been together since I was 18 years old. And you know, we done went through the portion of our life of, you know, renting houses, living in a trailer, living in military housing, and now that we were able to buy our own house, we appreciate it a lot more because of how we work, and we had discussions, you know, where we look back on how far we came. You know what I'm saying? So we're able to appreciate where we're at more, and we thankful, you know, more thankful to God that, you know, to say, hey, look how far he brought us. Then for somebody to just be coming into that and they don't really appreciate or value the same thing you value because you already at that finish line. So I think that it's great to go through it.
Okay. So here was my thing, right? I am a fan of Ride or Die because of the same thing, you build the rapport, but something that was articulated on the pod was, and I can't, I mean, I knew I wanted ride or die, but he articulated it well. He said the woman that comes into it with you, or does that meets you at the finish line, doesn't know what the last 10 years of your life look like. He knows what year 11 is, but the 10 years it took to get there, he has no experience with that. Whereas the woman that you build those 10 years into success with knows what it means when you're quiet. She knows what it means when you're in that house and you're silent. She goes, hey, everybody get the fuck out the room. He needs, give him a moment. You know what I'm saying? He knows what it means when you come in from work and you go straight to your room. She knows what it means when you come in from work and you're like, baby, 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 I want to talk to you. She knows how to handle you when you're excited. She knows how to handle you when you're too excited. You know what I mean? Like, she knows how to be your woman. You know what I mean? And that to me is irreplaceable. Like, that amount of time together, because this guy, it was a Christian podcast. He said that, I say Christian podcast because it went into like God and faith, but some of the things he said I can't get it out of my head. He was like, people date nowadays, and both y'all are married, so y'all wouldn't understand this, but people date and they do the memories. They go out and they date somebody and they go out and they're taking trips, they're water parking, they're doing all these memories. They're making memories with their boyfriend or their girlfriend, and then life happens and they don't know why I've never seen this side. When the trauma kicks in or the argument happens, when he's not happy with you, when she's not happy with you, you're like, yo, she sucks. Like, this is trash. Like, what happened to the good times? They date for the memories and the good times instead of working through the hard times. When dating is really about learning about having the hard conversations, learning the person when they're angry, learning how to handle them when they're not feeling well. It's the hard work is what the dating is for, is what he was saying. So he was saying that when you get past the hard work of dating, that's when you start having the memory making. So I feel like that's my idea of the ride or die, is that I want to go through the hard parts with her, because then she knows who I am. She knows what it means when I'm quiet. She knows what it means when I give her that look. She knows what it is when she goes outside and she's handling herself on the street. The other guy, and it kind of moved me up too, he was like, he want to meet me at the finish line. Let me work on myself, get myself together. I was like, why you say that? He's like, because I don't want my woman to work. Because I want my woman to be home. I want her to be raising the kids. I want her to have all her energy for me. I don't want her to spend energy other places. And I don't want no other man telling her what to do. I was like, what?
And I see that point where he's saying, because for some people, sometimes, and I will say this because when me and my first son mother, we broke apart, there was a period of time in my life where I needed time to learn who I was. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I can put that. I had to learn who I was before I could fully give myself to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So I had to make sure I build me up in a sense to where I was ready to really fully trust and love somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So there's a period of time in your life you have to go through that in order to make you stronger for that next relationship,
Oh, somebody need parent that child. somebody parent that baby. Somebody parent that baby.
On the side of the couch.
She said, Daddy, little British man. Daddy, can you please give me some more? More.
We haven't had anything since Tuesday.
War Tuesday. What else did they talk about?
I don't know, man. You can't want nobody that's fair weather, man.
I mean, they do it every day.
Yeah.
They do it every day.
I mean, sometimes you gotta take what you can get out here, man.
I don't want to survive a relationship. I want to build a relationship that's like a good relationship. Nobody wants to survive.
I don't know, man. I just feel like sometimes you don't know what you got. I mean, you don't know what you're getting into certain things until you're in there, man.
Yeah.
Like, everybody got, good intentions and this, that, and the third, but I don't know, man. I saw this one dude, he was like, when you get married though, he was like, you think you know people and all that stuff, but he was like, there's always going to be something that you couldn't kind of like estimate for that's going to pop up and happen. It's like, you ain't with somebody that's ride or die, as soon as that person see that thing that's not accounted for, they ain't gonna know what to do.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, it goes back to, like you said, you got to learn people and learn your partner. Simply and learn about each other, because I will say, I'll give you an example with me. I was in the military, got out of the military, and for years I was the heavy breadwinner in my family. You know what I'm saying? For years, you know what I'm saying, paying all the bills, and my wife working, but I'm making more. You know what I'm saying? and then she went back to school.
Why you
and
got
she-
whoa? Why you trying to make fun of Why you gotta say it like that, bro?
No, I'm just saying, like,
Nah, you said your wife working, but you making more. You trying to say your wife broke, nigga? Fuck
right?
you trying
No,
to say?
no. She had money. She
Hey,
had
shout
money,
out
but
to Nasty's wife, man. She's a fan of the show. We're not gonna let him talk about you like that on the
Yeah.
show. We're not doing that. Yeah.
Nah,
Hey, yo, so
nah,
boy, I
it's
got
just
with
that-
this. Boy, I got my broke wife. You know what I mean? Getting in the
Nah.
way. Nah, go
She
ahead,
was
Brody. I'm
making
messing
money.
with you.
She just wasn't making as much as I was making. And then when she went back to school, because that's one thing we talk about, allowing her to live out her dream, and she went back to school and she got her degree and she became an RN, a nurse. And lo and behold, she started making way more than what I was making. As a man, and people may not be honest with it, it kind of affected me for a little bit, because I was
Yeah.
like, holy shit, she making all this money, almost twice as what I'm making now.
Yeah, you gotta be
and I-
careful with that,
and
because
I-
it's
and I
like,
kind of felt like she didn't need me no more. Like, hey, she could just leave, because shit, she don't need me. You know what I'm saying? But me and her had those conversations. She was like, baby, I ain't going nowhere. I did all of this for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This
see,
is
that's
for
the mindset.
us. But I'm telling you, as a man, that's something that you don't think would affect you until it happens. Because I never thought that
Yeah.
would affect me until it happened. You know what I mean?
Nah, I could dig that. Like, you
'Cause
know,
sometimes chicks will take those moments, and sometimes it almost feels like if some of the females want to be the dudes, because like, once you get to that spot where it's like, all right, I'm making more money than you, it's just like, you know, you can't go back and throw it in somebody's face.
Yeah.
That's the point. Like when you throw it in somebody's face, that's when people be like, all right now.
Unc was saying that on the podcast. Unc was saying that specifically with black women. He said that black women have this thing where they got. I got you in a minute, Joe. So they have this thing where black women specifically have this thing where they're trying to be more manly than the men. They think they're better than the men,
Yeah.
and they kind of divide the families by these women thinking that the men are beneath them because they're making money, they're having jobs, they have this position where they're not. Their energies are combative versus it being, we're occupying two separate energies.
Yeah.
They do the feminine energy and masculine energy, but let's say, just for the sake of talking, to take that out because it's such a not taboo, but it's a hot button topic. Let's say yin and yang, you know what I mean? Because it's a little easier, right? You can't both have two. If both of you are being yin, then there's no space, right? Because someone has to be the yang for you guys to work. For that circle to be
Yeah.
made, you got to occupy both spaces. And a lot of men, once they get turned off, but a lot of men are competing to be men in their relationship, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
that comes from just not having the space for it. But I think in your situation, I think that society is kind of made, especially for black men, we put a lot of value on our provisions. You know what I'm saying? Like you as a man, you being able to financially support your family is a huge part of you as a man, because we got devalued as black men. We're lazy. You know what I'm saying? We don't take care of our family. There's so many social constructs. There's so many social
Yeah.
not what I'm looking for. There are stereotypes about black men not getting the
But
bag.
it's
You know what I'm
also
saying?
like Chris Rock said too, Joe. Chris Rock said women, children, and dogs get love unconditionally. He said men, it's about what you can do and what you can provide. Unfortunately.
And I'm not saying that's unfortunate. I think provisions is yes. I think that
Well, I mean, it's not unfortunate, but it's like everybody has like intrinsic like worth though. It's just like you as a person, if you didn't have kids or didn't have, a family, you still worth something as a person. So it's just like the only thing is like if you put your worth into, all right, well, I can provide. If you lose your job, then that's where you get people ready to off themselves and kill themselves because like, you know, that one pillar is keeping them up gets chopped out.
Nah, I agree. I think that's I agree. Joe said that he got married to the woman he fell in love with when he was 14 years old. They didn't end up
Nice.
getting back together into a relationship until a few years back. He said
Wow,
that
that's
from
dope.
from their end, they wish they would have made it for the ride or die, but they're together now.
Hey,
Um,
man,
but
it had
still,
to
as
be the
someone
way
that
it had
kind of
to be.
knows you, but she knew who you were when you was 14 years. So when you was a little snot nose, hyper
Right, she
dick
may not want to be with
teenager.
you then if y'all
Yeah,
got
you
together.
sucked.
You know.
So, so now she appreciates you because you sucked when you were 14. Listen, when you were 14, you were trash. Like, you think I want my daughter to marry a 14-year-old boy? All of them are trash. Is that a 14-year-old boy out here that I'd be like, yeah, man, that's a great man. F all the 14-year-old boys. They all suck. But you see, now
Man,
she
I
like, yo,
remember
you know what?
I was dating this one chick, Joe. She was like, when I first got out of school, like best job I could get at that time, shoot, I was working security and like working at Blockbuster.
Blockbuster,
Look,
the good old days.
Blockbuster Video, man. And she was like, man, you can't get no job doing what you doing and da 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 da. And I was like, all right. I was like, we gonna see.
Oh, now look at you. She out there
Yeah.
wishing. She out there wishing.
hmm
I wish I'd
Yeah.
held on. It's like, nah,
I
we're
told
done
you, like
now.
when me and Ty was getting married, when we went to the church to, you talk to the pastor before you get married, and they kind of go over like, what you're getting into and all this stuff.
Mhm.
That same ex was at the church
No
at
way.
her cousin's wedding. Yeah, man. I was sitting in the, I was sitting in the lobby. I was like,
Wait a
man, that
minute.
car right there. I like that look just like her car.
What do you
And she
think?
had actually parked next to my car. Yo, she ain't even get out that joint, man. She stayed in that car. I was like, oh gosh.
Joe trying to defend his relationship. Joe in the chat talking about some she always wanted to be with me. You don't know that, Joe. You don't know what she
Joe was like,
you don't
man,
know what she had in her back
Joe
pocket,
said, I want
Joe.
to get on the team, man.
You could have been the runner up. You don't know what she had in her pocket. Out here trying to talk yourself into I'm a special place. Look, you're married now. Be happy, motherfucker. Stop. Don't go digging.
You know
Don't go
what?
chasing waterfalls. Find some shit you want to look for. She'd be like, yo, I love Joe, but Larry. Larry used to come down in his Beamer. Man, we had a
It's funny
good
how
time.
stuff like that flip flop though. It's just like when when you're a chick and you're that young, like you got basically the cream of the crop. Like you can just pick from whatever you want. But then when you get older, then it flip flops where the dudes around like 30 something, then they
Yeah.
can pick from whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then it's just like,
Kevin Samuel said that. He said that the value of men increases with age, whereas women, the value of women decreases with age. He's
Yeah.
saying it gets less. And I think that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing to me.
get down. Yeah.
Damn, this show.
Everything has a way of working itself out, man.
Hmm. Yes, sir. 23 years of marriage. Ooh.
You've been married 23 years?
Mhm.
Ooh wee. That's
Damn,
crazy.
nigga. That's
I was
not,
married
yeah.
since I was 18 years old.
He done
happy?
doubled us.
You bragging, bro?
Yeah, I'm just being honest.
You think you doing something? You trying
I'm doing a
Doing
lot.
something right.
I'm doing a lot.
trying this man talking about I've been married 23 years. Damn, nigga, that's an investment, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Man, I said, I'm
You
married.
Gotta invest.
Yeah.
Got to.
You know what? I'm not gonna hold you. I wouldn't want to marry. I don't want to marry in general. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to marry. I don't trust. Not I don't trust. I just don't think that the institution of marriage is like a spiritual sacred thing. I think it's great for some people if you need that for your relationship. I'm not like anti-marriage, but I just don't think that it's necessary. I think that what's necessary is the things that come with marriage, right? Like the commitment to each other, like all those things can be had without a piece of paper in the courtroom. So I guess I'm not like F you while waiting because I'll marry the right girl. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll give her, not because I want to get married, but because she wants to get married. I want to make her happy. But I'm not like, man, I hope I get a wife. I don't think I care about it that much. I think I care more about who I'm with. Because I was dating a girl and she was like, I really want to get married. And I was like, I'm not into that. She was like, it's for me. I don't want to be a girlfriend the rest of my life. I want to be your girl, your woman.
But sometimes that's the thing where it's like, I feel like nowadays for women, it's just like, I want to be married. I mean, there's a certain sense of like security you get, I guess, when you're a female, where it's like, I'm locked down, I'm locked in now. But to me, for the dudes, like nowadays, Joe, with how things are, like you taking a risk, Joe.
Oh yeah, it is a risk. It is a slight risk, I would say, to marry a girl out here. nowadays.
Yeah.
It is a slight risk. Not it will, but discernment is required either way, right? There is no way around it. You need discernment to
Yeah.
pick up the right woman. So I would say that it's easier to she called. Wait,
Ooh,
she
the
hold on,
women
hold
is
on. Time
smaller
out,
now
time
than what
out.
it was back in the day, I
Joe,
think.
Joe said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" Now she calls me Hosef because she was not my first pick at first. Yo, she said she calls him Hosef. Yo, Joseph got a different life, bro. But nah, it's different now. But I think that the women and culturally society has popularized is what I should say, right? They popularized the idea that
Yeah.
if you're unhappy in your
What
relationship,
did you
leave.
do?
Like that's like the thing. If you're unhappy in a relationship, leave. They don't have the work through. They don't have the, oh, there's a problem, let's get better. Oh, let's communicate and grow. They have, if you're not happy, don't be nowhere you're not happy. And the reality is that relationships have this wave, right? It's literally a wave. There's highs and there's lows. There's good times, just like luck. You're gonna have really lucky day, really bad lucky days. You have really happy days, really bad sad days, or really hard angry days. Like it is going to wave up and down. And women are, the popularized mindset for women is to not stick around for lows, to only chase highs, to try to have as many highs as consistently as possible. So there's no endurance in a relationship. Well, there is not a lot of endurance in relationships. So you can get a woman who presents herself as a woman that's building with you, but then when the time gets low and you're not having the best, she leaves you. And that's why I say the ride or die is important to me, because a woman that's ride or die, I've gone through lows with her and she stuck it out with me. And I don't want to get to a high point where now I met this girl and I met her at a high point, and when I get to a lower point, even if I don't get low as I was when I got there, but I don't know what she's like when we ebb, when we go up and down, I don't know what she's like. And I don't want to experience that at 40 years old or 45 years old. It's like, listen, I don't want to guess if you have resilience. I don't want to guess if you have problem solving skills. You know what I mean? Like, listen, this shit could go away tomorrow. Do you like me? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you like me? If you don't even like me, then what are we doing? 'Cause I'm not dealing with that. That's crazy to me. That is absolutely crazy to me. That's madness. That's absolute madness.
Yeah.
I think me growing up just more so biblical. My dad talked to me more about the Bible. I kind of carry those same values over into my life, as I got older. And I always believe in because woman came from man, you know what I'm saying? And I was always taught that, a man have one more rib than a woman because woman came from man. So in your lifetime, you're going to spend some time searching for that rib that is compatible to yours. And you're going to go through many different before you find that one that is compatible to you to complete you. And in reality, in life, society accepts you more, for most part, accepts you more if they feel like you are complete. That's why they feel like a president could never be a president without a wife, because they feel like he needs or she needs to be completed. So that's what I was always taught.
Look, you trying to preach. First off, Pastor Nasty, I can't even take you seriously when your name Nasty. All right, I can't even take you serious. I want to be like, yeah, man. Nobody take that shit serious. Listen, I do think that there's somebody for everybody, but I'm also like a people person. I think that compatibility is different. I don't think that like there
I think
is.
it's what you make it, man.
I think because that can be your person. The thing is that you can
That
meet,
can
and
be
I don't know if
easy
you
or
guys,
hard, though.
I don't know if you guys experience this.
Yeah.
It's up to you, but I will say that even in my relationships, even though they're not together, I have good relationships with everybody I've ever dated. Anybody that I've loved has loved me, and we continue to love each other whether we're together or not. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have to break and hate each other. But I say that to be like, it could work with all of those girls. We could have a relationship the rest of our lives. I think that the reality is that I didn't choose to stay. They didn't choose to stay because they chose to go somewhere else. But had we chose to stay, we still have our relationship to this day. Just everybody's not worth the forever. Like some people, it's like, yo, I don't want to do this forever. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to do this forever with you.
This dude was, I saw this thing online. The guy was saying like, they said a lot of guys, they were saying a lot of females end up missing out because they was like, a lot of dudes will marry whoever they're with at the time when they feel like they're ready to get married.
Mm.
So
They say, guys,
like some of them chicks,
bro,
they
who was
could have been.
who was snitching like that?
Huh?
Who was snitching like that? That's crazy. Who was snitching like that?
I don't know.
That's heavy snitching. That's heavy snitching right there, boy.
Yeah, because I was like that. He's like half of them. He's like they just kind of hang in there. They be straight, but a lot of them they be like, all right, well this ain't right. You know what? Kick them to the curb. And it's like, what's going on? And I was like, you know what? I was like, I can see that.
That's literally what it's like out here. Like you can't. I want to say you can't trust them, but you can't. You can't trust
He
them.
said nah, it just seems like that. I don't know, Joe. I feel
I
like
mean,
nowadays I don't think people have gotten worse, but I do think like nowadays the stuff is just shown more. Like back
I
in the
th-
day, it's just like, oh well, these things are still happening. It's just nowadays they got social media. They show a lot of it.
yeah, and I think I can tag along on. I mean, I understand what y'all saying. I understand the different viewpoints. I'm never naive to not understand and listen to different perspective. Um, because I feel like times, like Winfro said, times have changed. Just the other day I was talking to somebody and I was telling them, I say, back then, people were all for your relationship. You know what I'm saying? People were trying to keep you together. I still remember when my
Yeah,
dad and my mom was going through things, they having house party over the house. You know what I'm saying? The family done got together and trying to get them together to
yeah.
keep them together. Now you got so many people who will be like, girl, you better leave him, boy, you better leave him. You know what I'm saying? So I just think
I
the
mean, I feel like
value,
back then
yeah,
it was more incentive
yeah,
for it to stay
right,
together too, though, because it's
yeah.
just like how, you know, if it's financial and stuff like that versus nowadays, it's like I feel like a lot of parts it's like you get more freedom to do stuff, which is a good thing, but with the more freedom comes the more responsibility and accountability you need to be for your actions and what you choose to do.
You have to, and that's
Yeah.
and that's another thing. That's another thing and another whole topic because they tell you got freedom of speech, but let you go say something about you against girls versus girls dating girls and boys dating boys, and see what you lose in life
He
because
trying
of
he trying to get me canceled. First off, nasty, shut the
it.
heck up, bro.
I'm
What are you doing
sorry,
right
bro.
now?
I'm
What are you
sorry,
doing
bro.
right now?
I'm
What are you
just trying
doing?
to tell
Hey
you.
man,
I'm just
I'm
trying
on
to tell you,
YouTube. They
like
gonna come get me, man.
I'm just saying, like just different views in what you say can be held against you because it's a double-edged sword. They tell you that you have freedom of speech, but when you use that freedom of speech, they also do it also can cause negative things towards you. That's all I'm saying.
Did
It's
I do this?
no wrong.
What the fuck is this? Oh, I didn't change the verbiage.
Yeah.
I I don't. I did not change this fucking conversation. I should have changed the conversation thing. I messed up. Oh well. Um, I I the getting canceled thing I think is gonna happen regardless because everybody has ideas and the ideas scope the
When
socializing,
they
right?
when they
Like
clash, yeah.
yeah, so
Yep.
it's always going to be that. I just think that people don't do a good job of combining ideas. So
Yes.
like you can think A, I can think B, and we can put
Right.
our ideas together and get the D and C D E, right? But if I say A and you say B and I say I'm willing to die for A, if you don't do A, then you're you're a trash person. You're like, well, if you don't do B, you're a trash person. Now we go nowhere. Now we have the A's and the B's, and then never the two shall meet. You know what I mean? And we have a very
Right.
polarized but that's just America in general. It's very binary. You know what I mean? Like, and I say that like there's something that fascinated me was this conversation where they were saying that we're very binary, and she was like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "Well, if there's rich and there's what poor, right? You could be
Hmm.
right or you could be what wrong.
Wrong.
But if you're rich, are you right or wrong?" They would assume that you make good choices. You're a good person because you make good choices. Therefore, you are rich. You were rewarded with a lot of money, which is why people get upset when celebrities do foul things because they're like they're supposed to be better people because he has a lot of money. He shouldn't make horrific decisions or bad decisions or hurt people because he has money, he's a good person, whereas someone who is homeless is inherently more criminal and a bad person who makes bad choices because they are now homeless because they are poor. And we do that subconsciously. We've attached those things. We have no idea the circumstances behind these people's lifestyles and the way they are. We don't know if this person murdered people to get this money or stepped on how many hands they stepped on. We don't know how cruel this person can be who has all this money, and we don't know how gentle and nice and caring this homeless person is. But because we have this binary system of existing, we literally attach goodness to money. Donald Trump, goodness to money, and everyone who doesn't have money therefore is invalidated, and we the culture of America is kind of based in that, right? And that's just the good, bad, money, no money. But we have that even with punishments. Like if you go to jail, you're no longer a good person. You are now criminal. You're a criminal, and you're a lesser person. We don't care. We want to punish you, and even after you've been punished, you deserve to be treated differently because you were a criminal. We have this. It's a very binary system in America. So
All right, stop.
I don't. When it comes to ideas, I tend to be open to everything. I'd rather hear and take the information, as much information as I can, because I don't think that people are inherently bad. Like generally speaking, there are some Jeffrey Dahmers out there, of course, but I mean, like inherently, I think people have good intentions. Even people you disagree with have good intentions. You know what I mean? Like I don't think
I
that.
always find it suspicious when you don't want to let people like if they have an idea, I'm like, we at least need to hear you out. But like if like, man, no. Shut him up. We don't need to hear nothing like that.
Don't
Like to me,
let him
that's a question.
talk.
It's like, well, what you don't want me to hear?
Why don't you want him to speak? Wait a
Right now,
minute.
now I'm even more curious. Now I'm like, all right,
I
well,
mean, and that's the same that happened on that Black Panther movie, and then Killmonger
yeah,
wanted to speak, and they told him, "I don't want to know his name. Don't ask that man his name."
right.
That's crazy. Hey,
Don't
dare
yo,
ask him his
that
name.
was
don't
a
ask him
good
his name.
that was a good movie, man. Look, man, you know what they did too? Something they didn't do that they didn't do with any of the other bad guys in Marvel Comics. They didn't make any other bad because women and children are always supposed to be protected, right? So to make a person be a bad person, or if they want you to be a bad person, they typically make you have less regard for women and children.
Yeah.
Killmonger was violent towards women, especially
Yes, he
balanced
was.
towards women in that movie.
Yes, he was.
And they did it to make him a worse person, but nobody else killed a woman. Killmonger was the only Marvel bad guy who killed a woman. Killed women. Like, he choked out the girl, like, yo, when I tell you to do some shit, I want you to do
Oh,
that
yeah,
shit when
that
I
joint.
tell you.
Yo, yeah, Joe. He's like, when I tell you do that shit, you do that shit. I was
Yeah,
like,
he's like, don't be asking no questions, bro. Like, he's like, look,
next time, no. He said, next time I tell you do something, you do that shit. I was like,
yeah,
yo.
that shit. I
He
heard that
said,
before. I
he
heard
said,
that
nah,
before.
burn it. There's no other damn king after me.
He's like, what you mean? He's like, burn. Yeah,
He's
he'll
like,
burn
we
this.
don't burn the herb. What a Baba? Baba
Yo,
would not
what
burn
about
the herb.
yo? You gonna stop
They
coming for
blood
Baba, man? Baba
Baba's
ain't do.
ass, but not the
Yo, Winfrow's the worst, bro. He even making fun of Bob. Poor Baba, man. Baba just trying to live his life. Winfrow like, nah,
Baba
yo.
been living his life.
He
Baba,
like, look,
Baba
we ain't doing
all out
no
of
more.
lives, Joe.
We ain't doing this no more. But then Baba leave him. It all started because of Baba.
Oh
Baba
my
out there
God.
wilding. Horrible, man. Horrible. You can't do nothing outside. Baba like, yo, come get your son. He in Wakanda. He burning things. It's like, I don't know what to do with him. I tried to stop him. You killed me when I tried to stop him. I said, hey. He said, hey. Oh, this is great. Barbershop Friday is going to be only on I'm with that. We gotta make this barbershop.
Damn, he one killer. Nice.
Oh, golly.
I'm trying to make my my YouTube. Oh, you know what's the craziest thing happened today? Craziest thing ever. I'm at my podcast. I'm doing my podcast, right? And I interview a guy. He just posted the interview that I did with him online earlier today. I shared it in my story. He was like, hey man, I really like what you're doing. I want to help you be more successful with your podcast. I got a studio that I'm working with. I'm doing this thing, doing that thing. And I want to work with you more because I think this is really dope. Like I've seen you in here a couple of times and I just thought you were a guy with a camera doing your thing, but I'm looking. I like the way you talk to people. I like the way you interact with people. I like the way it looks. Like I like the content, like what you're talking about. I like what you're like. I like this. I fucks with your podcast. Right. And I'm like, oh, thank you, man. I appreciate you. He was like, yeah. So, are you from the area? Like, what's going on? He's asking me questions. Right. And I'm like, I'm from here. And then like, he goes, wait a minute. Did you used to live in this neighborhood? I was like, yeah. He's like, bruh, you lived at apartment 6, right? I was like, yeah, because I was apartment 8.
Shit.
I was like, what?
Ah,
He is like, I grew up with your fan. I know you. I grew up in the same neighborhood as you. I was like, yo, I remember your first car. He tells me my first car. He told me the sticker I had on the back of my first car. He was like, bro, but that's not
Wow.
why I know you. He goes, we grew up in the same neighborhood, but that's not why I know you. I know you because I don't know if I told you. Remember I told you my sixth grade teacher had died and I spoke at her funeral?
yeah.
And so I spoke at her. I had bumped into my elementary school principal when I was out randomly, right? Bump into the
Uh-huh.
principal, random bump in. Uh, so I'm like, okay, bumped into the, I'm like, hey, how you doing? We were in DC somewhere. I bumped into my principal from Reston. She was from elementary school. This is like 20, 25, 30 years after, right? She goes, oh man, yeah, I remember you. I'll never forget you. You know what's funny? When's the last time we spoke to your teacher, Buffy? And I'm like, oh, I haven't talked to Buffy, in a long time ago. She was, oh, she's not doing too good. You should reach out to her. I'll talk to her and I'll get your information to her so let her reach out. So long story short, I reach out to her. I actually get to talk to her before she passes. And then they asked me to speak, give a eulogy at her funeral. So I came through with the service and a bunch of teachers and stuff there, and it was beautiful, man. I loved it. But he says the reason why he knows me is because we had the same, not the same, but he had my elementary school teacher after me. He's younger than me. And she used to always tell him stories about how I was in her class, you know what I mean? About the things that I had to do and things I was
Uh-huh.
doing. I was a constant educational tool for him and his buddy because they were knuckleheads too. So she used to always be like, yeah, this one student. And when I went to the funeral, all the teachers knew about me. They'd said, oh, they still give stories about you at school. I ain't been in that school in 20 years. They still tell stories to the other teachers about the things I did when I was there. So it was like, oh, we know you. I was like, who? She goes, oh, we all know you. We've all heard about you since we've been,
We know.
bro, every teacher that's been there knows my name. I don't know what they done told
Small
them
world,
people.
man.
Bruh, he said, I know you. I know your car. I remember your grandmother. I know this neighbor. Oh, we grew up in the same neighborhood. Bruh, I want to help you with like, listen, anything you ever need, here's my number. Anything you need, bro. You need to ride somewhere. Like, you need some money. Like, if you need engineering for your studio time, if you need graphic design, you need a videographer. If you want to make a movie, I do movies. I do this, I do
Nice.
that. He's like, bro, whatever you need, I am at your disposal, man. I'm here for 6 more days before I go on tour. Holla at me. So I'm meeting up with him this
Where's
weekend,
he
but
going on tour for?
for music, he does music.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. So I was like, oh man, that's crazy. So I'm like, but it wasn't about what he wanted to do for me. It was the craziness that I'm just doing my pod, doing my thing, and I bump into a dude that literally knew me my whole life. That is
Man, I
absolutely
tell you,
crazy.
it's a talent to be able to like. I think some people think that like podcasting is easy, but it's
Yeah.
it's not, Joe. Like being able to like hold the conversation, being able to move the conversation, being able
Yeah.
to just like
Stay,
work that whole thing, that takes a
yeah.
lot of like
Stay on
skill to do
topic
that.
and all. Yeah. That's
That's what he was saying.
Yeah,
He was like,
everybody
bruh,
doesn't have that skill.
he
nope.
was saying, he was like, his boy's trying to do a podcast. He's like, nah, I like this because my boy's trying to do a podcast. And not that he sucks, but he was like,
They think it's
he
just talking.
yeah,
It's
he's like
not.
he don't talk well, he don't transition, he can't articulate his thoughts, he's umming and ahhing, and it's like, it just doesn't resonate
Yeah,
with me. He goes, but this, yeah, I can get behind this. It's like
yeah, man.
this,
Yeah, it's
you should
it
come
is
do
a
a podcast
skill,
with
Joe.
us. Yeah, it was dope. It was absolutely dope. I was messing with it hard. Like it was
Cause
tough.
you know
I
a
was
bad podcast when you see one. You know one that's
um
just like, this not it, man. I don't really care to listen anymore. Like, it's more than just having a list of things to just say. It's just like, especially yours, because you're talking to different people. Everybody got different type of personality, but to still be able to draw out the information out of people who don't normally do that type of stuff, that that's not an easy thing to do.
Hey, it's been when I say it's been one of the coolest joints ever, it's been one of the coolest joints ever. It's something I love potting. He was talking to me like, yo, I would love to do this more. He was like, bro, I'm gonna do a documentary. Like, man, we could just work on so much stuff, man. It could be dope. Da, 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 da. I'm like, look, man, I just want to talk to people. Hey, Blue, this brings me back to a question that you asked about luck, and right here is where skill is meeting opportunity.
There you go.
Ah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
That's what I said with skill and opportunity. I would. It is a lucky moment. You're right, bro. I would say it's like, how is it not showing up on my joint? Like, is it not linked right now? Ah, whatever. My normally I have it where I have a chat bot that signals me every time a chat pops up, but for some reason it doesn't link to my YouTube all the time. I wonder why that is. Oh well. I have to
Hey,
like
you ever watch any more One Piece?
You know what? I was watching. They got to the island. I want to say the island of Wano, but I think Wano's with the animals. But they got to the island
Ooh,
with the swords, where they have the samurai swords, or whatever.
Samurai, yo,
But I
yeah,
missed.
Wano. Ooh.
I missed. I don't know how they got there, and they had swords. I think I went to sleep, and I woke up 3 or 4 episodes in because I'm like, they just pulled up, and as Luffy and Zoro was eating the meat, and they told him the meat was poison. And Luffy walked up on him, was like, "Yo, what's good?" So I was like, "Yo, what's up, man?" And then somebody ran up on him. One of the generals ran up on him, like, "Yo, that looks like Straw Hat Luffy." And they was like, "Yo, let's put the paps to him." I was like, "Wait a minute, before this fight breaks out, let me go back and watch the episodes I missed because I don't know what's about to happen. Why does Luffy have a sword, and why does he look excited to swing the joint?" I'm like, "Yo, who taught this
Oh
man?"
yeah, 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 yeah. Oh
I ain't
yeah,
seen it yet. I ain't
man.
seen it
Yeah,
yet.
you gotta see some of that. Yo, that
Yeah, I had to
man,
stop. I
that
had to stop.
Wano
I
joint
messed it up.
is crazy, Joe.
Yo, so it is. I gotta watch the junk.
Oh, but you saw all of Cake Island.
Oh yeah, Cake Island's crazy.
Son,
Cake Island was actually
did you
crazy,
see with Sanji?
bruh. All of it was
Yo, when
nasty.
they showed Sanji's past with his dad, Joe, I'm like, he up there with my favorite characters, Joe, because Sanji was just like, hey man, that
I
dude
don't
was
get where he gets. Honestly, I don't get where any of that gets any better. Like that is like the worst situation I've ever seen in my life. Like
the worst.
the
He
worst.
said,
Like
yo, he's like, just don't tell nobody that you know me. I was like, yo, after he did all the stuff, he's still like, you still my father, but he was like, yo, you go out there, don't tell nobody you know me. I'm like, yo,
yes, it was the maddening, and he just took it. Sanji was like, "Okay, no problem. I'll just whatever."
oh no, he was hurt. That's the joy. He was
He
hurt.
cried. He cried and ran. You know what I thought
Oh,
was dope
in.
though? You know what I liked a lot was he when his sister. She's like, if I show them how soft I am, they're gonna treat me bad too, and I don't want them to
They
treat
gonna
me
kick,
bad.
yeah,
So
yeah. Even the sister, go.
she was like, yeah, you can what? All the what is this?
Yo, Zales, they still hammering on that joint, Joe.
Bro,
Whew.
I know, bro.
Nezrak not moving, Joe.
What?
Nezrak said, I ain't moving. He said, you had to move me. I ain't coming off that emblem.
No,
Oh
he
man,
like,
shoot. You been checking out that Kaiju 8?
I haven't watched it yet. They said the joint was crazy
Ooh,
though.
it's good. It's good. It's solid. I'm still disappointed that whatchamacallit ended like it did, Joe. I thought there was gonna be more to it. Um Solo Leveling, Joe. I was like, wait a minute.
They
I was like,
didn't they
oh
didn't
man,
they didn't
I
fix it
thought
yet.
they was doing like I thought they was going. I thought that was like a mid-season finale, not the end of the season when he got the. He told the dude to rise up, and he's on the squad now. I was like, okay, well, he got the new like necromancer powers.
No, that's when he got what is it called? I forgot what it was called. It was
He became the necromancer.
I forgot what it was called though. His class. He got his
Yeah,
class.
necromancer.
what for
Yeah.
doing an encounter?
I'm
Am I going
blown. This
into
is
an
supposed to be
encounter?
better. This is
Yeah,
supposed to be
what are you
better than
doing?
this. I'm blown right now.
I don't know, man. I'm down to do that. That raid
Join this
joint
blind.
6.
Join
is
the
trash.
sorrows of Harbor. Help me get this thing done
Oh
fast.
yeah, yeah. I need to do that too. Let me join on point. Oh gosh, you got some invite.
Shoot me an invite.
Ooh wee. Golly.
Do I need to change the what you call it? The banner size? Because why is it look like that? Completed. That's crazy. How do I
Oh,
change this? How
man.
do I change the size of this? Kind of pause. Um, download. Try to make a banner, but the size is trash. It says for the best thing, make it what? 248, 2048, 1152, 2048,
Oh
1152,
shit.
2048. I change this shit.
Hey, I'm
Um,
gonna pause y'all for a minute. Let me call and see what
There
my
you go,
wife
man.
had. She about to eat tonight.
can I change the size of this? Like, What is this? I want to change. Can I change the joint? Settings, show ruler guides, margins. I want to change the size of this.
Oh man, hey, how's Scrape like in Virginia now?
Loves it, bro. Loves it. He got him at the barber
Yeah,
shop with
I
me.
didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know he was just staying out here permanently. I thought he was just down here visiting.
He
Then I saw him on the
was.
barbershop.
He was, and now he like, I love it out here. He about to, he about to be this about to, like it's home now. He be hanging out with the barbers, be going out and doing stuff. They be trying to get me to go out and do
Yeah,
stuff. I'm
great.
like, nah, I'm chilling. He loves it out here, bro. It's actually really dope. I'm like, I'm happy that he found like that he's able to be out with people that are like,
Good influences.
yeah, just good people, man. He's just around
Yeah,
good
man.
people now, so it's
Hey
great.
man, that's a lot of
There's
that's a
so
lot
much
of
to
it right
solo
there.
leveling. Oh yeah, I read the whole solo leveling web novel. First I read the manga. The manga didn't finish, so I read the web novel. I finished the entire story. Then I went back and read the manga because there was no updates in the manga. And I was trying to read it to there could be an update. Then I went back and did the web novel again. Then my daughter,
Uh-huh.
I started reading with my daughter the web novel and the manga simultaneously. And then the series came out. So I've been reading this. Like that's one of my favorite stories. But you know what else is my favorite story? The Legend of the Northern Blade. That's probably one of my favorite mangas. Solo Leveling and then The Legend of the Northern Blade are my two favorites
I
right
need to
now.
try that.
Like the
Man,
Legend
I
of the
tell
Northern
you,
Blade is crazy. That is absolutely
Landon
crazy.
and got me reading Jujutsu Kaisen.
I
Oh
have
my
not.
gosh.
I was reading it a little bit and I stopped. I need to get
Oh,
onto it. I'm gonna end my stream on YouTube. I'm gonna go straight only to what you call it
Twitch.
to Twitch. We're
Okay.
on YouTube now, but I'm gonna just end it now because I want my Twitch time to be my Twitch time. If you want to catch me
Yeah.
talking more, then just catch me on Twitch. But I'm gonna end this stream. Thank you guys for let me pause the I'm gonna mute myself for a second. Thank you guys for watching, man. Thank you for coming through. I'm gonna game for a little bit with the homies on Twitch. So if you want to catch me some more, talk a little bit more, you're welcome to come to Twitch, jump in the chat. The link is in my profile. See you guys at Twitch, you know what I mean? Thank you guys for coming by. Peace.